I'm ready to go live. What's going on? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're just spinning here.
The internet,
Uh-huh.
we've had problems.
Uh-oh.
Everybody has problems with Spectrum.
Oh,
You should
man.
actually say this is sponsored by Spectrum because Spectrum, Coca-Cola, and all the other sponsors that didn't show up, like Spectrum.
Having trouble connecting. Please check. Oh. Good afternoon, fellow adventurers. It is Friday. It is Thursday. We're having a special edition of John's Dungeon Corner here at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, where it's a nice, brilliant 80 degrees. That's right. It's February and it's 80 degrees. What do you think about that? But no. So today we're going to continue our discussion about creating player characters. But first, as always, as I promised you, I'm going to show you the cool stuff that has come in specifically for Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even know where to start because it's all cool. You know what? What's my favorite thing? Well, dice. So guess what we're going to start with? Dice. Okay, let's start here. So these are really cool. These are Candy Hearts Mystery Loot. I mean, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So what do you sit there and you get somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons and loves dice or needs dice? Because everybody needs dice. You can never have enough dice. Here it is right here. Candy Hearts Mystery Loot. Ta-da! I mean, come on. What says I love you better than Candy Hearts Mystery Loot? Everybody loves Mystery Loot and everybody loves Candy Hearts. They put them together. I love it. I love it. Wait a minute. There's a cool little writing on here. I got to see what this says. I got to see this. All right. So here we go. Let's hold mage hands. Okay. Favored friend. You're divine. Stop dragging. Dragon, get it? My heart around. Oh, my quest pals. It's awesome. I love it. So these are really cool. It contains 2 candy heart mini enamels pins plus 1 heart D20. Oh, I've got to get me one of these just because of the heart. That'll be cool. Now, and then, you got keys, right? I mean, everybody has keys. Check these out. This is by Forged, and it's a Fob of Fate. Look at that. Your own D20. You can carry it around with you at all times. Oh, wait. Let's go this way. There we are. A D20 keychain. Can't beat it. Antique brass look. The numbers are really cool. Look at that. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but they got like little sparkles in them. Very nice. I like, it's a die. Haha, I told you we're going to talk about dice. You can't beat it. All right. Then, I'm going to show these first. These are like a special edition, right?
Which ones?
These red hearts.
Those are Valentine's.
These are Valentine's Day special edition metal dice. And you have got to see this. These are heart dice. Let me see if I can get them to focus. Oh, hold on. Don't go nowhere, everybody. Haha. Okay. Here we go. Let's put this behind it and see if we can get them to show up real nice. Oh, look at that. You see the hearts in there? They are beautiful. Beautiful. We have the bedazzled version, which I'm holding in my hand, and the unbedazzled, which is just the hearts. Doesn't have the bedazzling, It's very nice. Yep, that's how much they are. You're not seeing things. I want you to see them, but they're beautiful. I mean, these are gorgeous dice. They're hollow. They are unbelievable. Look at this D20. Wow. Take a look at this. I mean, it's just, let me see if I can get the one die at least to show up real nice. Oh, no, where'd I go? I disappeared. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look at the 20. Oh, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Put that 20 on the top because I love 20s. I live for 20s. I do. That's how I roll. Oh, my. That's gorgeous. But, of course, as always, actually, this is also bedazzled. Look at this one. This, of course, is the purple set. Look at that. Also gorgeous. Look at that. In hearts, in purple. Oh, yeah. I love it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And yes, they're also. But I want you to know because, hey, aren't they worth it? That's what I always say. Absolutely, they are. All right. So that's something. I mean, this says, I love you to a D&D player more than anything you could probably buy. Look at that. I mean, they're just beautiful. I love them. And last but not least, oh, I can't open one to show you. Can't open one to show you.
They are open? They should open.
No. The bag.
The bag?
Oh, it does. Well, no,
Yeah.
because it's got this whole thing on it. You know what? No. Look,
You can tell them about it, though.
I can tell you about it.
You know that.
All right, look at this. So these will hold. There's a spell card book. Okay, I want you to see. It's got some nice etching in it on it. See that? All right, look at that. Really nice. Comes with a bag to protect it, and inside you can put the spell cards. Now the spell cards are sold separately. Okay, but they fit in here nicely. It looks like you can put 54 of double-sided parchment scroll dry or wet erase cards in them. So that means you can pretty much, even if you only put 30 single spells in here, the ones that you use, this is nice. I like that. So you have the players that has cards, and you can have your actual own spell book with your cards in it. And by the way, what I'm feeling here, it feels like wow. You know what? I'm just going to buy this one because now I got to know. This one I'm just going to buy, and I'm sure I'll find something to do with it.
Like, what do you think?
I like the way I think too. I can't help myself when something's new and I got to know. That's how they get me. That's how they get me. But look at that nice bag that you can turn into a dice bag. And, oh, I see now. Look at that. Oh, this is really nice, actually. So they literally give you 30 cards, blank-sided cards that you can put in there and write your spells in. So you can annotate things, or better yet, take these for notes on the adventure that you're currently on, put them in your player's book, and take this, go get your spell cards, so it has everything you need in your spell cards, and put them in here. Oh, hey, I always got uses for everything, but that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use this to annotate notes on the adventure that I'm on, special people that I meet along the way, keep them in there, right? Because I can change. Wait, there I am. I can change it. That looks cool. Looks like a scroll. And on the back, you can kind of title it. Or you can write spells on it. I mean, it's up to you, but that's what I'm going to do with this. And then in here, my bard will put all his spells. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like you get a million spells to cast anyway, right? Exactly. I mean, I think the most is a wizard, and he gets, I think, 29, 28. Double-sided at 60. So there you go. You're good to go with this. I love it. Good choice, John. Good choice. I always make good choices when it comes to that. I thought so too. All right, so anyway, hey, go get a stool. Go get a stool. Come out there. Go get a stool and come sit with me. So today, that is really cool stuff. I tell you, the collective always has something new for you.
Something new every day.
Every day. I mean, you seriously, if you miss out not coming by in a week, you're going to miss out because there's so much stuff that comes out and they get it in. And if they don't get it in, they can get it for you. Okay. I've told you guys this, and you got to,
Hey, can we talk about the convention that we're having in store?
well, come on, let me even talk about it. So I'm going to bring the man himself,
Right. So
the man, the myth.
this Saturday,
There he is.
This Saturday, we are hosting a convention inside the store.
Okay.
Now, how can you do that? It's the community con. So everybody from the community comes out. We're gonna have an artist alley. We're gonna have other things. We're gonna have the Ghostbusters out here. We're gonna have a food truck. We're gonna have a really aggressive 25-cent comic book sale out on the front porch. So
25 cents.
I mean,
where does that even
bins are
happen?
done? They're gone. They're a thing of the past. Except for this Saturday, we are actually going to have them out there. So it's going to be worth coming out. It's going to be running from 10 until 5. We'll have a food truck.
Food
We'll have
truck,
big fun stuff.
25-cent comic books, fun stuff.
This is not necessarily our gaming con, which is in the horizon. We are actually developing our space next door.
From the man, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Together.
Well, he's
There's
not really
actually
a horse.
There's tile down. That could be a horse. Gotcha. That. Anyhow,
That's a dungeon
There we
master
go.
right there.
There
That's
we
a
go.
dungeon
That's
master.
That stuff will be on the next one. Yeah. So anyway, this in-store convention,
This Saturday.
our convention is going to be here, not at the convention center. Don't drive to the convention center looking for this convention. That's not happening.
No.
We're having it right here at the store, and we're cramming like 70,000 feet and 100,000 people into our 4,200 square feet.
Oh yeah! It's like a Volkswagen full of hobbits
Yeah,
or halflings.
It'll be great. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's cool. So anyway, all right. So I always bring guests on. They come from everywhere. They just show up at the doorstep, and I invite them in. So my brother showed up at my doorstep. You guys always see him on the show. So here he is. Come on, bring a stool out. Look, he's going to want to sit higher than me. This guy. It's my show, Look at him. He picks the biggest stool there. Okay, come on. Have a seat right here. My younger brother, Willie. That's that. You guys have seen him on there. We talk all the time. Willie Blanco. All right. And I'm John Violeta. So anyway, inside joke. But you guys will get it if you know Spanish. All right. So we're going to talk about building a character. Willie's been playing D&D for a while too, as a kid even, and kind of grew up with it too, right?
Yes.
Then he kind of got out of it for a little bit. The game changed on him. And then
Definitely.
we started playing again, and we play when we're here, when we're there, when he's there and we're here. We play over Zoom. So I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Geographically challenged doesn't mean anything, right? Right. So what was your first player character? What was it like? Do you remember?
But I've always been like an assassin.
A rogue assassin. See,
yeah.
there it is, rogue assassin. So who's your latest? Creation?
The rogue.
Mhm.
The rogue, the black elf.
No, the dark elf.
The dark
The
elf.
dark elf, yeah. So that's cool. All right. Rogues for the win. All right. I like the rogues. I've always liked rogues. Although nowadays I've kind of branched out and done it all. It's easier. That way we can help people create characters, right?
Yes.
I mean, boy, do we create some characters. In my Wednesday game, we created a whole new set of characters. I told you guys about that, right? And so we had session 0 just this last Wednesday, yesterday. Let me tell you about Wednesdays. You got to come out and play D&D with us. We had 5 DMs, a bunch of players. I mean, there must have been 30 players, more than that. About 33 players. All levels of play. New games starting. Donna was running hers. I was running mine. I can't remember the gentlemen's who were running.
Elliot was running one.
Elliot was running one. That's a unique one. The Elliot one, if you guys remember, I introduced a new set of players to Dungeons and Dragons and done kind of like a mini 101. Well, they showed up and played with Elliot yesterday, and they had a good old time. And it was neat.
Elliot is always so.
Oh,
Elliot,
right here. He's going to tell you about Elliot now.
He is our store DM.
Store
So,
DM.
He is going to be running first and second level characters. So you'll never progress past that. At that point, you got to go off to your own game. He's just kind of like bringing him
Look
in,
at that.
teaching him. So it'll always be a beginning campaign. So anybody that wants to come in and kind of learn about how D&D goes, we're not really capping it. So you might be sitting there with 40 people if the
At
other games are
least.
full.
Once we open
But-
the other side, we'll stack them on one on top of
Yes,
the others.
but this is going to be the game that's going to kind of let people come in and experience the game and get their feet wet.
So look at
That'll
that.
always be
There.
going
What
on.
did I tell you? That things were changing, right? That things were going to get better, and there it is. He's basically brought someone in specifically the Dungeon Master, Dungeons and Dragons for beginners, first and second level. And then you got to go find your own game, right?
Or
It's
stay at
across the table.
second level.
Or stay at second level.
Never grow old. Right?
Stay forever. You'll be forever like an elf. If you're playing an elf character, there you go. You're just stuck at second level. It's like you can't advance. Get it? All right. So it's so crazy, right? All right. So let's see. We're gonna try and get this done. All right. Today I promised you that we would put together a character. I brought a dry erase board with me because I like before. Let me tell you something. I told you guys about this. I always said bring paper, make some notes. All right. Because what you're going to do is I use this, and this is going to be my notebook paper, as the sheet where I scribble all the things that I have. And then I transfer it nicely onto my character sheet. In my case, I like to type them, but I also write them, whatever needs to be done at the time, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create my character. We're going to use the 4D6 method, kicking out the lowest die. All right. So let's see what we get. All right. first we need our dice. And like I promised you, I was going to show you my bag of purple dice. See, remember I told you about the dragon with the eye, right? There he is. I'd shown this to you before. All right, so then my dice. Remember we talked about this. I have many purple dice. Well, there they are. Oh, there went one. He didn't want to get left out. So there it is. All right, so there are my purple dice. Told you I had a mountain of them. All right, so I need 46. So let me see. I want that guy. Let's see. I'm going to want this guy. No, not that guy. Not now. I'm not feeling it. I want this guy. I want this guy. Nope, I don't want him. He rolled a 1. All right. Maybe this guy. Let's see who's hiding down here. And this guy. Now I got one more. This guy. All right, here we go. 4d6. And we're going to roll. All right. And the first roll is a 6, a 5, and a 3, which gives us a 14. All right, so we're going to write down this 14. All right, Willie's going to be my assistant. He's going to write while I work. All right, while I roll. All right, here we go. And then we're going to roll a 5, a 5, a 6, and a 4. So we'll take the highest 3. We got a 16 now. All right, we're going to roll again. This is roll number 3. A 5, a 6, a 2, and a 4. So that will give us 15. All right, the next roll gives us a 6, a 6, a 4, and a 3. We'll take that. We'll make it a 16. All right, how many more we need? We need 2 more. All right. Oh, is that a 6? That's a 6. So we got a 5, 5, 5, 6. We kick out one of the trio, and we get another 16. And last but not least, okay, then we go 4, 6, 4, 2. We kick out the 2. We end up with a 14. Is that 6 numbers? All right, so there it is. All right, so this is what we got. We got a 14, a 16, a 15, a 16, and a 14. There it is. All right, so this is what I would do. I got my stats. Now, with those stats, believe it or not, you can pretty much create any character you want and manipulate the numbers, because that's what we do. And that's what we're not doing anything crazy. This is how you build your character with one of the systems in the book. Now, your DM may do it differently. I told you, oh, yeah, look, this is one, my friend Mary gave me this one for Christmas. She doesn't like dice. She doesn't buy dice, but she bought me this die because it was purple and it was metal and, nice. It's beautiful. And by the way, it was sitting here. Roll, I don't know, 20. Look at that. Isn't that a nice die? And she got it here at the Collective. I'm telling you, all the great gifts that you can give a D&D player are right here at the Collective waiting for you. So now, I got these stats and I'm like, okay, what do I want to play? What kind of character do I want to play? Not a rogue. Today we're not going to build a rogue. We're not doing a rogue. You know what? Let's build something cool, something versatile. Let's build a support character. Let's build a bard. Let's build a bard. I talk about the bards. In fact, I play a bard. Let's just build a bard because I got a bard miniature with me, and I got a bard. I got the bard tin with me for the bard token set, right? So let's build a bard. That's what's in my bag. We're building a bard. All right. So we're gonna build a bard. That's my race. That's my class. I mean. Now, what race are we gonna make them? Well, you can make them any race you want. I am going to take full advantage of the half-elf stats and make him a bard, a half-elf bard. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that. This is where you really get a choice you can go a couple routes. If you just want to play a dwarf bard, hey, there you can be a dwarf bard. I want a character who's a good support character, but who I can actually use to role play with. And I want him to have a lot of skills. I want this character to have a lot of skills. I want him to be knowledgeable. Can he fight? Sure, he'll be able to defend himself, right? He'll be able to cast supporting magic and play his music. But what I really want him for is to dig the information out of that Dungeon Master. I want to be able to go to Dungeon Master and roll so many dice that he has to tell me something. Even if it's just quit rolling dice. Because I'll start rolling dice, lots of dice. No, I don't. But no, so I want this bard to be, when he travels around playing, he's collecting songs, he's collecting poems and stories, and he's seeing things, and he's turning it into epic stories. Yes, because he's gonna be that guy. Anyway, so yes, so that's what I want. Will he be able to fight? Sure. Will he be able to cast his magic? Absolutely. But I really wanted to be a support character that can really help the party, but not predominantly in combat. Make sense? That's the way I'm going to design it. Okay, so let's design it. So here we go. What do we get as a bard? All right. So let's go through the half-elf traits. Excuse me. Yeah, half-elf traits first. Let's go with the race. His ability score is increased. Now listen to this. So his charisma is going to go up +2. And then I get to put +1 and 2 other stats. Haha, these are starting to shape up, aren't they? Really quick. All right. I'm going to be, let's see, their size is medium, so 5 to 6 feet. My speed is 30 feet. So I write all this stuff down on my little piece of paper. My speed up. I got dark vision. So right down here, I put dark vision. 60 feet. All right. That's nice to have. That means I can see at night out to 60 feet. It's very cool. Fey Ancestries. Okay, this is neat. Fey Ancestries means that I have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic cannot put me to sleep. Ha ha! That's that half elf. That's that elven side of my family. That's right. Thank you, Mom. Okay. Skill versatility. Now here's
Your mom don't watch this.
yes, she does. What are you doing? Oh, by the way, well, you don't want to say hi. I don't know. But you just come in here talking about what? Say hi.
Hi.
That's right.
Dungeon
This
Corner
is
with
Danny.
Special guest Willie.
And Danny, the producer, he had everything set up for me.
I did. Today.
That's right.
Today I had it.
He's awesome.
Because
Don't let him kid you.
I pitched it last night. I was
That's
like, hey
right.
guys, he's gonna be here.
This guy,
Right here.
he's the bomb.
So yeah.
So if you
Enjoy
guys have any
Dungeon Corner.
questions,
yes.
yeah. Oh, you got your show coming up later, right?
I do.
Well, come over here and tell them.
5:30. We've got an interview with the writer of Marvel's Red Goblin, Alex Packenduff. It's pre-recorded, I'll admit, but it was a phenomenal interview we did yesterday morning. Because
This is what you get here at the Collective.
Awesome.
You see that?
And then Nick has a show tomorrow still, 4 o'clock, doing his FOC.
FOC for the win.
Convention is Saturday.
Oh, and the convention is Saturday. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
So they can come and see you
they
Saturday.
can come see me.
I'm loving
Brendan.
it.
Brendan will be signing books.
Brendan's
Kevin
signing
will be
books.
back here doing a class, 2 classes, 3 classes.
Oh, man, you can't beat that. So you got to be here Saturday. Starts at 10, ends about 7 hours of fun. Can't beat that. So let's keep going. All right, so here's where I'm getting at. This is where it gets good. Skill versatility. I gain proficiency in 2 skills of my choice. So I got 2 skills. All right, so I've already got 2 skills that I get to pick, in addition to whatever comes with my class. So I'm already at 2 skills. All right, languages. Now wait for it. I'm going to speak Common. All right, so I speak Common. Oh my gosh. Common, Elvish, and +1 more language. So I will start the game with 1 extra language. It's that half elven thing. They didn't want to know everything. You know, they got that elven part of themselves that they get to live a little longer than humans, and then they got that from the father's side. They just nosy about everything, want to know everything. So they got to be able to converse with you, right? And that's it. Boom. That's what I get from my half elf. All right. Then I'm gonna slide over to my bard. Dun dun dun. There I am. Didn't have to go far, did I? All right. So let's look at the bard. My hit dice are 1d8 per bard level. Hit points at first level 8 plus my constitution. Well, I haven't done anything with my constitution, so let's stop here. This is why I did this on purpose. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't have to assign any skills, right? Okay, here we go. Let's assign these skills. I got a 14, a 16, a 15, a 16, and a 16, and a 14. My biggest stat. Let's see what it says. What is my most important stat? Dun, 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 dun. It says, first, charisma should be my highest ability score. See, you can literally just walk through and just read your way into building your character, but I'm going to help you out. And let's see. Followed by dexterity. Second, choose the entertainer background. Ooh. It even tells you what to pick. Third, choose the dancing lights and vicious mockery cantrips, along with the following first level spells. This is a quick build, by the way. Charm person, detect magic, healing word, and thunder wave. I do things a little differently, but I like that it tells you, look, make sure that your charisma is numero uno, number 1. Ein. Ish. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So here we go. Let's see. Charisma is my most important. Well, guess what? Since I get a charisma +2 as a half elf, I will stick that and add it to one of these 16s. And guess what that equals? That makes that an 18. Dun, dun, dun. So there's my charisma. And I'm going to show you all this once I do it. Okay, so I got 2 more abilities that I can turn and give a +1 into. So I'm looking at my stats. I got a 14, 16, 15, 16, and a 14 left. All right, my dexterity has to be my next highest. So a 16 gives me a +3. So remember last week I talked about attributes a little bit. So every even number gives you a +1 to your stats. So here we go. A 10 is 0. 12 is 1. 14 is 2. 16 is 3. 18 is 4. 20 is 5. So turning an even number into an odd number doesn't do anything for you. But turning that 15 and putting a +1 there gives me another 16. So now what I have remaining, I still got a +1. Okay, so now I've done my 2. I've done one of my 1s. So now I got to turn one of these even numbers into an odd number. So what I'm going to do is, because at 4th level, once again, remember I told you that I like to build my characters from forward to back, where I want to be to from where I am. So I want to get my dexterity to an 18. So I got that +4 on my dexterity and on my initiative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other +1 and I am going to put it into one of my 16s, making that a 17. So there it goes. Boom. So that makes my final scores 14, 17, 16, 16, 18, 14. Any dungeon master, any player will tell you those are amazing statistics. Those are awesome attribute skills to come up with. And as I said, the 17 is going to be my dex, because I'm going to use a lot of dexterity-based weapons. Okay. Let's see. I want a good perception, and I want a good intelligence score. So I'm going to go. My next score is going to be my 16. One is going to go into intelligence. The other one's going to go into wisdom. And the 2 14s, Constitution, which isn't bad. It still gives me a +2 to my hit points, right? Remember, it asked about hit points. And my strength. That's all right, because I don't plan on being, what did I tell you I wasn't going to do? I wasn't going to be a big combat magnet, right? So that's okay. I'm strong enough. 14. So now let's go work on the character. My hit points. A D8, it maxes out 8 plus my Constitution modifier. So my hit points at 1st level are going to be 10, because I have a +2 because of my Constitution. Now, I get all these hit points at higher levels. Going to be 1d8 plus however your DM wants to do it. All right. My proficiencies. Now, I'm not going to write all this down because it would just slow everything down. But what I would do is I would put light armor. My armor proficiency will be light armor. My weapons, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords. So I got a nice plethora of weapons there. Here we go. Tools. 3 musical instruments of my choice. I am going to take the lute, the flute, and the drum. We'll talk about that in a little bit, why I chose those. Now, my saving throws, I would mark down on my sheet. I darken them in. I get dexterity and charisma. Those are my saving throws, why they want you to have dexterity and charisma as your higher stats. Now, wait for it. Remember I had 2 skills that I got to choose because I was a half elf? I now get to choose another 3. So my 2 skills just became choose 5 skills. It doesn't say, okay, you get to choose from these skills. It says choose 5 skills at random. And the difference is, I'll show you the difference between the bard, let's say, and let me see what I open up to. Who is this? I don't know. Let's keep going until I find something, huh? Okay, we're still going. Okay, the fighter. Okay, when the fighter comes to his skills, he gets to choose 2 skills from acrobats, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. So that's what he gets to choose from. They get to choose from. I get to choose my own 5 skills, whatever I want them to be. Okay, so I have that going for me. Done with that. Now, the next thing that I have to choose is my equipment. To start with you start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. Okay, that when we get to the background first, I want to finish all this, right? All right, so here we go. I got a choice between a rapier, a longsword, or any simple weapon. And there's a whole list of simple weapons: the dart, the dagger, a mace, a warhammer, stuff like that. What am I going to choose? Because I want to look cool. You know, I want to have like a flourish. I'm going to use the rapier. Plus, the rapier is a dex-based weapon. It's got the ability to be used instead of my strength being the modifier. I can use my dex. My dex is a +3 instead of a +2 for my strength. Eventually, it'll be a +4. Got to think ahead. Remember, we're talking about looking ahead. Okay, I get to choose a diplomat's pack or an entertainer's pack. I would choose the entertainer's pack because it comes with costumes and things like that. It's on page back here with the equipment. It's on page 151. It comes, the entertainer's pack is a backpack, a bedroll, 2 costumes, 5 candles, 5 days of rations, a water skin, and a disguise kit. Very nice, right? I get a lot of cool stuff there. And then I get to choose between a lute, any other musical instrument to start with. So I will start with a lute. So out of the 3 musical instruments, I start with my lute, which is kind of like a guitar, but it's like a mandolin and a guitar baby had a baby. There we go. And then I get a leather armor and a dagger. So I write all this down. This is what I have to start with, right? Cool stuff. Now, spell casting. I get to cast spells. Good. So it tells me that I get 2 cantrips from the bard list. And I can learn additional ones at higher levels. There's a table in here that shows you everything that I'm reading. See that table right there? Okay. It's in the player's handbook under the bard. And it tells me, lo and behold, right here, cantrips known 2. How simple is that? All right. So I get 2 cantrips. I'll put that right here. In the character sheets, there's a place for all your spells. And spell slots. The bard table shows how many spells. At first level, I have, let's see, spells at first level. I know 4 first level spells. So, from the bard list. So, 4 first level spells. Ta-da. Okay. There, I'll put them there and there. All right. Spellcasting ability. Charisma is my spellcasting ability. So my charisma is an 18. Oh, watch what happens here. So when you cast spells, remember I haven't told you this actually. When you cast spells, you have a spell attack modifier for spells that I cast. So like, let's say I was a wizard, or actually, yeah, I throw a fireball at you. That's a thrown weapon. It's attacking you. So I have to use my spell modifier to hit you. Okay. So here's the way this works. And then there are other spells like charm person that you have to make a saving throw against. So that goes against your spell save. So here we go. My spell save. All right. I don't know why this keeps going, but there we go. Now it's done. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. Spell save. It's 8, a base of 8, plus my proficiency bonus, which at first level, it says it right here, is +2. So I'm at 10, plus my charisma modifier, which is a 4. So my spell save, when I cast a spell on somebody, they have to roll a 14 or better. You know, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst, okay? So that's good. That's the most it can be anyway at this level. All right, now, my spell attack modifier, which I call Sam, is my proficiency bonus plus my charisma bonus. So that means when I cast a spell, I will have a +6 to hit. Because I have a +2 proficiency bonus, and I have a +4 from my charisma. There we go. So that's done. Now, ritual casting, I can use any bard spell as a ritual. That's a whole different ball of wax there that we'll get into later. But I'm going to kind of just gloss over it. And you can use my musical instrument as a spell focus for my bard spells. Awesome. We'll talk about that also when I get to the part about spell casting that I'm going to do next week. That's where I'm going to go into, because it has a lot of things: wizards, sorcerers, clerics, spell focuses, and ritual casting. All right, so Bardic Inspiration is awesome. Here's what it does. At first level, I get a D6, right? And a Bardic Inspiration, so let's say you're a rogue, Willie, Striker. Striker is about to go and he's going to try. Okay, so let's say he's a little bit hot. He's going to go and try and kill this orc guard, right? We got to make sure he hits, right? It's very important that you hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my bardic inspirations. Now, here's where the tokens come in. Now, Willie doesn't have to use this right now, this very instant, right? Okay, here's what it says. You get one bardic inspiration per, and it's the last 10 minutes, so you have 10 minutes to use it, all right? And it's a bonus action, which we'll talk about also. I think I did talk about. Well, we'll talk about that in the same section. So you can take this bardic inspiration and use it within the next 10 minutes to add it to any die roll that you make. You can use it to hit, as a save, or as a skill check. Those are the three things that you can do. An ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw. So Willie is going to take this D20 because he has to sit there. And here's the neat thing. Okay, so, and this is the way this actually works. You can decide after. So let's roll that D20 and see what happens. Okay, it's a 16. Now, Willie's a rogue. He probably has a high dex. He's probably using a short sword. Let's use a short sword because he uses his dex. That's a 20 already. But let's say he didn't roll so well. You rolled real well, by the way. That pretty much hit just about a lot of things. But let's go here. Okay, there. Now it's a 13. 13 is a good number. You're at 17. And you got to wonder, well, this orc, he's pretty well armored. Did I hit him? Did I not hit him? He's got a shield. Oh, man. Okay, so I got to kill him. I got to be able to hit him because he's already been hurt. And now he's on guard duty, and we got to get past him. But we can't have a big fight again, right? So you decide, you know what? I'm going to use my bardic inspiration. Go ahead and roll that die. He uses a bardic inspiration.
Oh, shit.
Re-roll it. Oh, sorry. Let's try it again. Okay, two. That's all right. We had a 17 and 19. That should hit. Now, we don't know if it is. We'll tell the dungeon master, hey, I rolled a 19 to hit. He goes, you just hit him. Because he had chainmail and a shield, which is 18 armor class. The 17 wouldn't have hit him. Actually, even if you had rolled a 1, you'd have still hit him. Because it's an 18 armor class. You rolled an 18, so you hit him. Now you do your dice, your damage, and boom, he's dead. All right. So that's how bardic inspiration works. It's really neat, right? So I get bardic inspiration. Let me write that down. Okay, bardic inspiration. I'm not gonna write it down. There's a neat little thing on my sheet, on my little card here that shows me all that. See, all these little accessories, I'm using them as I go because I want you to be able to see how this all works together when you're creating a character. All right, so I can use bardic inspiration a number of times equal to my charisma modifier, which just happens to be an 18, which is +4. So I got 4 bardic inspirations that I can do before I have to rest. Good stuff, right? And actually, those numbers go up. The die goes up. At 5th level, I get a D8, a D10, and a D12 at 15th level. So that means that if you were 15th, and we're 15th level, you get to roll that die and add it to your hit roll.
That's nice.
Now look at that. A 7. Now, that's pretty good. Because let's say he rolled a 7. So even though that's a nice jump to go from 7 to 14, right? And he can use it for a saving throw, he can use it to hit, or he can use it for a skill check. Okay, so there you go. And actually that 7 becomes an 11, right? Because of your dex.
Dex is 4.
And by that point, it's probably maxed out at 20. So it's +5, so it's 12. +7 is 19. See how that went from a 7 all the way up to 19? Because that, and if you roll a 12, it'd have been a 22. But anyway, that's the way this all works out. It's really neat. All right. Next, here's the neat thing about my bard. He's a jack of all trades at 2nd level. Well, we're going to stop here because he's only 1st level and I'm just creating. I don't want to go any further. All right, and get everybody confused. So I'm done. At this point, I'm pretty much done. I got one thing left to do. I got to go and jump over here to my background and figure out what kind of background I want. Now, remember they said, well, you know what? The good one is the entertainer. Okay, so just really quick, I'm going to go through some. The acolyte, you can have a charlatan, you can have a criminal background, the entertainer, of course. Notice that I haven't picked any skills yet, right? Okay, I'm going to show you why. The guild artisan, you have the hermit, the noble, the outlander, the sage, the sailor, the soldier, and the urchin. Now, depending on which way you want to go with the game, if you want to be an amazing entertainer, but remember what I wanted to do? I want to be a support character that can role play with the dungeon master and get information and know things, right? Know things. So there's a couple of ways that you can go the entertainer route, and I'm going to show you the kind of difference. There's another background that I actually use, but I'm going to stick to what's in the player's handbook because we're not going to confuse nobody, right? So the entertainer would give me as skills, it would give me the ability to go acrobatics and performance. That's what comes with that background. I would get a disguise kit, 2 proficiencies, disguise kit, so I can use it, and 1 other type of instrument. So, okay. And then equipment, I get another musical instrument, the favor of an admirer, like a love letter, lock of hair, a trinket, another costume, and a pouch of 15 gold. That's what I start out with. And then, of course, I get a feature called By Popular Demand, which would give me the ability to always find a place to perform. And such a place, I'll receive food and lodging of a moderate to comfortable standard as I perform each night. And each performance that I do makes me something of a local figure. So that's kind of cool, right? What do you think? That'd be kind of nice.
Cool.
But there's another route that you can take. And it's kind of a hard choice because it depends on how you want to go with this. I'm a bard, musical. The Outlander is a very unique background because basically you grew up somewhere away. Well, I'm a half elf. I may have been ostracized and had to live in a very small village, kind of like on the fringes of between like the elven lands and a human settlement, right? Half elf. I'm half something. Part of it's elf. So, okay, you really want to create a crazy half elf? It does not mean that you were half human. You could have been half orc. You're a half elf. You look like an elf, but you have a green tint to your teeth. The canines are a little bit overgrown. Okay, you see what I'm getting at? You're half elven, but what's the other half? Well, you can do anything with that. So this character was ostracized, so he's an outlander. Instead, he comes from like the fringes of civilization, some little village way out there. Okay, so now my skill proficiencies that I get change a little bit into athletics and survival. Nice to have because I do a lot of traveling. That's how I get my information and make my stories, right? Okay, I get 1 type of musical instrument. Well, look at that. And I just happen to be a bard. But here's the cool part. I get another language. And my equipment is now a staff, a hunting trap, a trophy from an animal I killed, a set of traveler's coats, but this time I only start with 10 gold. Okay, well, it happens. Now, my feature that I get with this one is Wander. Now, listen to this. You have an extra memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. So those are 2 backgrounds. It depends on which way you want to go with it, the character now, right? Okay, so do I go with I get another disguise kit, another instrument, do the acrobatics and performance, or do I go with the athletic survival, another instrument, and another language? Now, this character is going to go with the Outlander. Okay. So he's already going to get athletics. What is it? Athletics and survival as 2 skills that I am proficient in. Now here's the great part. Remember, I still got 5 other skills I can choose. One of them will probably be performance. Because that's why I really am not worried about the entertainer background. But what I do get that I don't get as an entertainer is now I get another language, which means now I know Common, Elvish, plus 2 more languages. It could be Draconic, it could be Orcish, it could be Abyssal, it could be Infernal, it could be Aquan, whatever. You get the point, though, right? Now my characters are even more diverse, and I can speak to more people. Now, will I take something? More than likely, most people take the Draconic language. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit outside the norm. I might grab something like Infernal. Okay? But, so you see how this is going. As in my type of instrument, I'm proficient in another type of instrument. So, I don't know. Let's pick harpsichord. Now, that sounds funny, doesn't it? But the reason I picked the well, I'm gonna tell you why all these. Okay, so now I'm proficient with the Hopsicord. Okay, now I get a hunting trap, a trophy, but I have a memory now. When I see a map, when I see geography, I remember it. So now what my character does is, as a trade other than just being a bard, I'm going to sit there and become known as a calligrapher, as a person who can make maps. So now I'm always going to have scroll and pen and pencil, and I'm always going to be drawing out these maps with my calligraphy skill. Okay? And I know calligraphers, but you get the idea. If you've ever seen A Knight's Tale, you remember the bard that was in there, right? He was always drawing and writing and stuff. There he is. All right? So that's the idea behind him. And actually, if I'm going to do nothing but maps, it'd be a cartographer. All right? So I'd be a cartographer. But calligraphy, beautiful thing. Writing makes the flourishing, the paint into nobility. That has to do with calligraphy. All right. I had so many things going in my head there. But all right, so you see how that character is now building up. There's his background. So now let's finish him off. I've got everything I need. I got 10 gold pieces. Not much, but it'll get you more than what you think. All right, so let's finish him off. I got 5 skills. Okay, from memory, right? We're going to go with performance. All right, performance. We're going to go with sleight of hand. We're going to go with perception. Now, those are my favorite 3. They're very useful. Performance, well, I'm a bard. I'm going to play instruments. If I'm proficient in my performance, I get a +2. Because of my charisma, I get +4. So every time I perform, I get a +6. So I roll the D. I'm performing. I performed today. I got a 9. +6, I got a 15. That's a pretty good roll. It may not have been one of my best performances, but it wasn't a bad performance. Of course. Now, with my cantrips, all right, either prestidigitation, which lets me create different noises and sounds and lights and stuff, or the dancing lights, but I like prestidigitation better. I'm going to create all kinds of cool little effects around me as I'm performing. So the DM might say, well, I'm going to give him a bonus of 1. So that 15 becomes a 16. See? Now all of a sudden it's starting to come together, right? And I get 2 cantrips. So I don't know. My second one will probably be vicious. What is it? I'm not sure what I would take, actually, because that's my favorite go-to when I perform. So now my first level spells, those Vicious Mockery obviously would be one of them. Now, you have 2 healing spells. And as a support character, I would probably take both of them. Simply because Cure Wounds, if Striker's hurt and I can get to him, I'm going to heal him. Cure Wounds. I roll my D8. Okay, he got 5 plus 9. So you got 9 points back. But if I'm not near, as long as he's within X feet, which I believe is 30 feet, maybe 60, I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't clutter myself, so I have spell cards. Actually, I'll tell you in just a second. Hold on. Healing Word, here it is. As long as I'm within 60 feet of him, by the way, spell cards. This is why I don't memorize things. I won't be wrong if I got the spell card right in front of me, right? That's why I do it, guys. Folks, ladies, gentlemen. I always have my spell cards right there. There it is. Vicious Mockery, Prestidigitation. Those are my, Vicious Mockery, Prestidigitation, Bane. That's what I can only take 2. So I usually start with Prestidigitation. Vicious Mockery is my 2. And then I take Dissonant Whisper. I identify Dissonant Whispers, Healing Word, and Knock. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So there we go. Or Invisibility or Heat Metal. Those are my second levels. But first level, I'd probably take Identify, Dissonant Whispers, Healing Word, and Cure Wounds. So, but if I'm 60 feet away from him, he gets hurt. I can only roll a D4. But the awesome thing is, I'm 60 feet away from him. He just went down. I roll that D4 on my turn. I roll a 4. Plus 1, he gets 8 hit points back from a distance. Right?
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? 60 feet. I did say 60 feet, right? Is that right?
It is 60 feet.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And my spellcasting ability. So yeah, you got 8 hit points from 60 feet away. That's awesome. So now I'm that support character that I wanted to be. Okay. Now, granted, okay, I'm only first level, which means I only get to use, 2 spells a day, but make them count. That's what I say. So those are my first level spells that I'm going to take. I told you what my 2 cantrips are. Oh, my other 2 skills. I don't know. What would you take? What would you take to finish this off?
Skills?
Oh, well, history, right? I was talking about different places and
Yep.
stuff.
That's good.
So I would probably take history. All right. So I got one left. Now this is interesting because a lot of people go different ways with this, and this is how you create your character. You can have 10 bars in a party, and they're never going to be the same unless you photocopy each one of them, right? So I got my performance. I got my sleight of hand because here's the cool thing. Eventually, I'm gonna get my hands on a thieves' tools and equipment, and with sleight of hand, I can actually work. I won't be as good as the rogue because they probably took that neat little skill that they get at first level and put it into their thieves' tools so they double the proficiency. But with my high dex, if I have sleight of hand as a skill, I get 3 plus 2 is 5, so I get a +5. Not as good as a rogue, but I can actually do it and perform the feat, the skill. History's good, so now I think I'm going to look and I'm like, oh, what should I do skill wise? Let me look and see what my other character has. How's that? Let me look at oh, good grief, he's higher in level. So, but let me look at this. Acrobatics is cool, right? I got athletics, which is nice. I got survival, which is also good. Do I want to learn about arcana, my magic? No, I'm going to pass on that one. Deception, I don't really want to get into deception. Although my charisma is high enough, I don't want to do it. History I took. And then there's that investigation. Usually I let the rogue deal with that kind of thing. I'm more of like I said, support character. I look around, I keep an eye on things, make things sure that things don't surprise us. That's my perception. Oh, and then I look around and I'm like, ooh, stealth. Do I want to be stealthy at times? Or do I want to go with that insight maybe? Or the arcana? So there's a couple ways that I want to do this. I think with him, since I was ostracized and I'm a half something, right? And I may make him a half orc just to give him that weird kind of outlandish, because I'm an outlander, right? That outlandish. Why did I get ostracized from the Elven village? Because they figured out, oh, whoa, something happened here, right? And it happens when orcs raid, right?
Right.
And instead of being thrown off to the wastelands, my mother ran off with me and raised me up in a little village.
Yep.
So you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit there and take stealth because I used to hide to get from getting beat up. Probably. See, I'm developing the background of my characters. I'm grabbing stuff here and there. Now there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I started with. The 2 that I got. Now these the languages. Common is what everybody speaks. It's like English, kind of in a way, but everybody knows this common tongue. It doesn't matter. Orcs, I mean, maybe not sometimes orcs, but pretty much all characters know it. Elvish, that's my native tongue, right? All right, so I got 2 more. But here's what I'm going to do. Since I'm going to be half orcish, I'm going to learn their tongue because I want to know orcish. And then the other one, I've always been fascinated by the whole realm of the hierarchy of devils and demons, right? So I got to choose. Do I want Abyssal, which is the demon tongue, or do I want the devil tongue, which is I just said it. You see what happens to me? The infernal tongue. So I'm gonna go infernal. So there's my other language. I speak Common, Elvish, Orcish, and Infernal. Orcish because that's going to be a part of my background, and I'm going to learn it. Okay? So there's my character in a nutshell. Just like that. And it didn't really take me an hour because we talked about 15 minutes about everything else. This was kind of a little bit fast-paced character development. But here it is. I'm going to show you what I got on my piece of paper. All right? Here's what I got. I got my stats that I rolled up first. There goes everything that I did because I want you to see it. Okay? And then I walk 30 feet. I'm a half elven bard. I get a charisma +2, a +1, and a +1 to something else. 60 feet of dark vision. I got 5 skills. I speak Common and Elvish, and then I got 2 more, which I turned into Orcish and Infernal. My 5 skills I turned into performance, sleight of hand, perception, history, and stealth. And from my background, I got athletics and survival. I started with 10 gold, my 2 cantrips, my 4 first level spells, and you can change them to whatever you want. Oh, the one thing I didn't explain. Okay. Why those 4 magical or musical items? Okay. So the lute, you can string and you can sing with it. Since I have performance, I can either perform with my lute and just play a song, or I can sit there and sing with it. All right. The flute is nice because it calms animals, and you can just go down the road playing it. You don't really have to worry about playing it. Yes, I could, but the flute has a totally different, it's a wind instrument, of course, as opposed to, I think guitar is a percussion. So you're playing it, right? And it kind of calms animals. It's just one of those things. The drum is neat because you can take out a military cadence. So you can do something like that. And sometimes there are tribal creatures out there like orcs, goblins that use drums to communicate. If you can learn their communications, you could actually change their messages that they give to each other. It's not something that I would use all the time, but to know it and how to do it, I am proficient with a drum. The harpsichord is unique once again, just kind of like the drum. It's a situational thing. The harpsichord, most nobles of high birth, so we're looking at like maybe barons, but definitely dukes, counts, dukes, royalty will have a harpsichord somewhere that they like to hear performed. Well, harpsichord is a unique skill. Once again, you'd have to be proficient in harpsichord to play it really well. So if I know how to play the harpsichord, and I'm not talking about right today, I'm going to sit there and have that ability to run into a duke and he's going to let me play his harpsichord. But one day, my goal is to become renowned as a storyteller, a poem, a performer, that he invites me to his home. And I just happen to look in the corner, and there lays a harpsichord that's probably not been played in God knows how long. And it probably wasn't even played very well. But now I'm about 12th, 13th level. My skill has gone up. And I tell my lord, Your Excellence, you have a harpsichord. And it's beautiful. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to build this up, right? And he goes, oh, but it hasn't played it. I say, oh, truly? Well, what a fortuitous day today is. I happen to be learned in the harpsichord. And what do you think that guy's going to say? He's going to go, really? Well, could you show me? And I'm going to go over there. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to play that harpsichord for him. I'm already in his good graces. You see how that played out? Now, that's not today. That's not tomorrow. That's at 12th, 13th, 15th level maybe. But once again, you're thinking ahead. All right? Anyway, so that's my bard that I created in an hour's time. And it was kind of rushed. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but bear with the Dungeon Master. I mean, I know I create so many characters. But listen, even as you see, I don't memorize everything. I don't have everything sitting up here just waiting. Yeah, a lot of stuff is up there. Too much stuff sometimes. I have it compartmentalized in these little boxes, right? Anyway, but no. But look, I know where to go find it in the player's handbook, right? And since I don't want to go searching through the book all the time as a player, I put my stuff on a character sheet. This is my advanced bard, of course. And he's actually a warlock bard. But there it is. There's my character sheet. Okay, nice and printed out on the computer so I can read it. I make notes of things. I've showed you this before, right? And I've got my magical items right here. It tells me what I don't have to write anything. I have the cards. It tells me what it does. There go all the spells that I know. My casting times, what level they are, the ranges. I don't have to memorize it. I have it right there. This is the tools of the trade. And that's why I wanted to bring all this out here. No, you don't have to have that many dice, but it sure is cool to have them. But anyway, so you see, it's fun. If it's dice, that's your thing, or just whatever. You know, that's what the game is about. I showed you I didn't teach you. I showed you how to create a character really quick. And that's what we do as Dungeon Masters. We create the characters from scratch to a fully playable character in any campaign now, right? Well, as long as it's 5.0. So let me just kind of go over this cool stuff that's out there. I'm going to kind of throw it up there. The candy hearts, these are neat. I'm probably going to get one of those. The keychains are awesome gifts. All right. Or if you just want one for yourself. Now, look, I can only say these are amazing. Those are just beautiful dice. They got hearts on them. They got bling on them. We have them without the bling. And I don't want the sticker price to shock you. So there it is. They're $99.99. And they are worth every penny of it. They're beautiful. Okay. Now, this one's mine, but you can come and get your own. It's a little spell book. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and as I adventure, I'm going to put notes in them and add them to my players so I can just open up and see, oh, yeah. Oh, Robert. Yes, he's the bartender from the Flying Dolphin. Huh. I remember him, and I'll make little notes about him. Maybe I did a favor for him. Maybe he owes me a favor. Maybe whatever it is. I've got it on this card, and when I run back into Robert, I've got that card to remind me because, listen, you're going to meet a lot of people that are important in the game. They really are, right? Oh, no, you can stay there. No, stay there. No, I want you there. I kind of brought my brother. He didn't get to talk much because this was kind of like I had to, and it's an hour long, gang. Sorry about that, but it takes a while. And I didn't want to break it up into 2 days. I wanted to do it in one shot. But this is great. I'm going to use this for my spell cards. I'm going to use this for information that I'm either given or that I want to use later on. And there's, 30 of them, they said. So I'll probably try and somehow buy another one of these, give this to somebody, and keep the cards for me. Because I love stuff like this. Yes, I could put it on a piece of paper, but if I can come to your house to play or to a game store with just this in my bag, this, I'm good because it all fits in the back of my backpack, and I've got everything I want. There it is. Oh, wait. Let's not forget my painted miniature. There we go. Ta-da! I'm ready to play D&D anywhere I go. All right. Willie, thank you for coming. Appreciate you. It's nice having your brother enjoy the things that you do because you get to do them together. I told you it's a family thing. Here, move this way a little more. It's a family thing. My brother plays, my son plays, his fiance plays, my wife plays, my other son plays, my adopted daughters play, their father plays. I mean, it's awesome. It's just an awesome group that I have at home and that I've met so many people through it, right? So it's an amazing camaraderie that you build through these games, and you make lifelong friends through it. All right. So anyway, other than that, as always, may the road rise up to make your feet, and may all your adventures be successful. This is John and Willie from John's Dungeon Corner at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, saying, have a beautiful weekend. Although it hasn't quite started, but it's still the weekend. Every day's the weekend. And I'll see you next Friday. And we're going to keep talking about players and what to do and all how spellcasting and all that kind of stuff.